Hello, my name is Navigator, and I should warn you, I got my dogs up here, so they might be panting and God knows what. But in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the AEW Unrivaled Series 15, Daniel Garcia. I'm a big fan of Daniel Garcia because I am from the state of New York, specifically upstate, so I'm really close to Buffalo. I went to college out there, and I recently just saw him at AEW in Buffalo, New York this past week. So I was just like, I gotta get this figure. I've always wanted it in the collection, but now was the time, and it just kind of released. So there we go. But yeah, in this video, we're gonna unbox it and just take a look at it. Unfortunately, though, I forgot to I forgot to cut it open. So we're gonna have to do that. I'm gonna take the old trusty knife out. I usually do this beforehand, but like I used to say, there are 3 holes here on the back. And you gotta cut them all open. So there's 1, there's 2. And then there is 3, and once those are open, you pretty much just pop it all out, and yeah, there we go. I'm actually kind of glad about this series. So, this series, these are the figures in here. Saraya not going to get, Chris Jericho not going to get, MJF I'll probably get because of the poker chip he comes with, Danny Garcia in hand. Ethan Page is no longer with AEW, so I don't have to get that figure. And then the Samoa Joe here, when I see this in retail 6 months from now, I'll end up picking that up just to replace the current one because it's just a repackage. But we're focusing on Danny Garcia today. Really a local hero, honestly, for me, kind of that old Joe Hendry gimmick. But this figure is killer. I got to get out of the packaging, though, because the legs are kind of messed up there if you can't really see. So let me get the blade out of the way so I don't get demonetized or something. But you can just pop them right out of here. And I'll be honest with you guys, it's been quite some time since I have boxed an AEW figure on the channel. It's definitely got to be a month. And AEW is my whole thing, so it's kind of crazy. But as you guys know, I have built up, and I'll show you here, an entire collection of every single wrestler that has ever been made by AEW. I don't have every AEW figure, but every wrestling figure of somebody who is in AEW. It's a long story. I have. So first off, I want to fix these feet here, and they don't look too messed up, so that's not a bad thing. But all right, so we are going to take off these accessories, and we'll take a look at them individually. I'm just going to keep that rubber band on there. It'd be too much of a pain to get off in the middle of this video, but let's take a look at those accessories first. So he does come with the Lego man hands, the grappling hands, as I like to call them, but he also comes with fists. These must be required so that he can do that whole Danny Garcia dance thing, you know what I mean? He puts the fists up like that, so those had to come with it. It would have been a crying shame if it didn't. Next up here, what is this, the Pure Championship? And I'm going to see really quick, too. Let me grab my Wheeler Yuta. I'm curious if these are the same belts. Yeah, it looks like they're the exact same belt. Okay, but honestly, this one is really stiff on Wheeler Yuta. This one's a little bit softer. So, it's kind of cool to have 2 Ring of Honor titles now. This is the Ring of Honor Pure Championship. Danny Garcia held it at one point, and Wheeler Yuta of the Blackpool Combat Club currently holds this title. He's been holding it for quite some time. Another towel we get, kind of like Samoa Joe or Katsuyori Shibata. He's got this black towel here. Super cool. Love accessories like this. It's a little kind of fringe there a bit. I don't know. But it's holding together pretty well, and I'm assuming this will go around his neck and stay there. So that's really nice. That's all the accessories here. Finally, let's take a look at the figure itself. So like I mentioned, the boots, the legs, that kind of remind me of Swerve's, where they're really thin and they just kind of bend at a weird angle, I feel like. But if it'll focus, I'm praying. Come on, buddy. Why are you not focusing? He's being camera shy, but not a lot of detail on the boots. It's just black boots and kick pads there. Nothing too crazy. However, these knee pads are where it does get important, and I'm really hoping it'll focus. I'm going to try to do it manually. Let's see if that'll work. There we go. So, on his, what would that be? His right knee pad, he's got Buffalo Kids. Love to see the Buffalo reference. It's one of the biggest reasons why I got this figure. And then the other one here, I don't know if this is a Buffalo logo, but it's almost like the CM Punk logo with the stars and the lightning bolt there. So super cool. Moving up here to the trunks, he's got the DG on there. Again, that same kind of pattern on the back there. It's continued. The only thing, though, is I've been hearing people why did they print the trunks onto the thighs? It didn't really make a lot of sense. I've seen people do some kind of fixes on it. It just looks a little weird here. Kind of reminds me of an old Toy Biz figure for some reason. I don't know. But he's got black wrist tape as well. No tattoos, nothing like that. I'm not sure what torso mold this is. If you were curious as to what's going on in the back there. Pretty plain Jane. But finally here, the head sculpt. I think this is a great head sculpt. That looks just like Daniel Garcia, to a T. That is just wonderful. I love how that looks. Gotta love Daniel Garcia. And the figure, the build is like, the proportions and the build are almost exactly like him. And it's super cool. I'm so happy to have this figure. Gotta focus it again if I can. There we go. Just what a great figure. And now that Daniel Garcia is getting like an actual really big push in the company, I'm just even more glad to have this. Was very happy to see him on the last 2 weeks of AEW Dynamite. And now I finally have somebody, well, spoilers, for MJF to feud with. I have him standing up here with Swerve doing literally nothing. And now I can put him against Daniel Garcia with my posing in my arena. So that's it for this video, folks. Again, this is the AEW Unrivaled Series 15 Daniel Garcia figure. Shout out to Buffalo. Love the fact that they threw the Buffalo kids there on the knee pads. That's all I have in this video, though, folks. I appreciate you watching. As always, my name is Navigator. Have a nice day. Take care.